Hi guys, the episode that you're just about to listen to is generously sponsored by our affiliates Board Game Crate. Board Game Crate provide a monthly subscription service where they get fresh new games delivered straight to your door. Just head over to www.boardgamecrate.co.uk, and furthermore, if you use our discount code UnluckyFrogIsAwesome, all lowercase, all one word, you'll get a cheeky little discount. It's easy to remember because it's true. Hello and welcome to the Unlucky Frog Gaming Podcast. You are joined by your usual... Stop making each other laugh! I did. Alright, stop it! It's amateur hour. You're joined by your usual hosts, Josh Hartley, Ben Porter...
Hello.
And Tom Mannering.
Hello.
Do you prefer Tom or Thomas?
Tom? I would think after...
Why are you asking that now?
Because I nearly
8 years of friendship later.
I actually just nearly called you Mr. Thomas Mannering.
But that would have been fine because it would have been like a bit. But it's the fact that you asked him what he prefers.
Well, I thought it would be rude.
8 years.
Hello. Has it been 8 years?
It has been 8
Wow.
years. It's not why we're here, Josh.
Wow, it feels longer.
All right, I think that set the tone for the episode anyway. Yeah. So, yes. Well, what have we got to talk about this week?
Well, Tom has a little bit of a bone to pick with Steamforge.
I do.
They're the villain of the week on Kickstarter.
And this week on Who's Been a Dick on Kickstarter,
it's Steamforge.
Steamforge games.
So
again,
we'll chat about that in a moment. But gaming wise, what have we been up to?
Well, one of the ones that we keep forgetting to talk about is we've started working our way through the Board Game Crate games that we've accumulated. And we've both played Jaipur, haven't we?
Not against each other yet. No. I really liked it. It is my jam, basically.
It's one of these German games where like you look at it and you're like, is it a bit racist? That's like a theme with a lot of the German.
I think it's just acceptable.
So what's the script for this game?
So Jaipur it's a 2-player card game. Specifically, It's only for 2 players, and you're a merchant. Okay. And you are looking to trade in like gold, silver, spices, fabrics, that sort of thing. So you get cards that represent each of these goods, and you're rewarded for cashing them in quantities. Okay. It's the the economy of scale type of thing. Yep. So if you have large amounts of gold, rather than just trading 2, you're going to get a bigger payoff exponentially for getting 5 of them.
Right, okay.
But where it gets really interesting is with the camel cards.
So the camels kind of drive the game, right? So camel cards are not good that you can trade, but what you have is you've got what they call the market, and it's kind of like, deck building games, how you've got your selection of goods there. And in your turn, you can choose to take one.
Right.
Or you can choose to exchange any number of your own cards with those in the market.
Right.
And that includes camels.
Right, okay.
So the camels, while they're not something you can sell, they are still a tradable commodity. Mm-hmm. And if you start building them up, it means you can just sweep the entire market and just leave your opponent with a bunch of camels.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So they are, like Josh is saying, they're the vehicle that drives the game. Okay. And you get this really nice marrying of theme and mechanic there.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because you can, like Josh is saying, you can empty the marketplace, and that's representing you. Well, you've got the bigger train, so you can move more goods.
Right. Okay.
And it keeps the it keeps the action quite interesting.
Yeah.
I think that it's quite a niche thing. The specifically 2-player game.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's one of the better ones that I've played. Though I really liked it.
Yeah, it was really neat. I was in Static Games. I was talking to the guys there actually about 2-player games. I can't remember how we got. I think we got onto it via Twilight Struggle, which is like my favorite like head-to-head game. But that couldn't be further from Jaipur. Jaipur like plays in like 15 minutes.
Teach it in 5, play in 15.
Exactly.
Type of game.
Twilight Struggle takes an entire evening to play.
Yeah.
But they were also talking about Onitama as well, which is an excellent 2-player game with the chess adjacent game.
It looks kind of, some of the components and things in Onitama are kind of trashy looking though, and it's like with an abstract game.
They probably could have made it. It would have been nice if the pieces were wooden rather than that rubbery plastic that they're out of. But when you're trying to make a game affordable to manufacture, you have to cut certain corners.
Whereas like, going back to Jaipur, it's Middle Eastern in theme. Mm-hmm. The artwork's all great, loads of bright, vibrant colours.
Yeah.
And
sets kind of the tone.
It encapsulates that feel of like the Spice Road.
Mm-hmm.
Really nice.
So we were really impressed with that one. You and Charlotte have also played Dream Home as well.
Yes, played Dream Home.
So on the surface, this kind of looked like my favourite part of The Sims. Like I really like designing the building, but I couldn't be bothered with like having the people live in it. So
honestly,
borderline sociopathic.
Why is that borderline sociopathic?
Have this house, but no people. Just the house.
I just like.
To be fair, that's not the worst thing I've heard someone doing in The Sims. So,
I was gonna say, like, I've heard of appalling crimes against Simmanity.
There was a guy. There was a guy I went to school with, who made like 2 of her friends in The Sims, and he made them enter into a homosexual relationship with one another, and then trapped them in a room full of ovens so that the 2 of them burned to death.
Why would you do that?
I don't know.
Wow.
At the time, like, you're kind of laughing and you're like, this is a bit messed up. And you look back and you're like, there's something wrong with that kid.
Yeah. You're not on my Facebook anymore.
Yeah. What's he doing now?
Oh, I don't know.
Time.
I was setting that up. Yeah, wow.
Do you know, the thing was, he thought that it was freaky. There was one time where because we were in a drama club together, right? And you used to go on like rehearsal weekends.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you had a bit of fun. You would socialise. You had free time.
But you were there to do a specific
you were doing
thing.
Intensive rehearsals for the show, that kind of thing. So you had like dorms with bunk beds in them, and me and my friend, we were. This is the psycho with the ovens. So we're sat up on his bunk, and then we can see one of the other guys is on his laptop, and he's on The Sims,
Right.
and he's superimposing his 2 ex-girlfriends' faces onto Sims characters.
Oh, good lord!
But it was that way. He'd angled himself in such a way where he clearly thought that no one could see him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And me and my friend are just slowly turned to each other like, "Are you seeing this?"
Wow.
Don't know what he did.
Yeah.
With those characters.
I'm sure it was wholesome.
I think maybe Sims needs some sort of restriction on who can play it.
Yeah.
At this juncture.
I mean, yeah.
Anyway, Dream Home.
Yeah.
So what's that about?
So is it like the best part of The Sims then? The part where you're not creepy about ex-spouses, etc.
No.
Oh.
No.
Nothing like it.
Nothing like it. To be honest, it is a lot like games like Sagrada, Azul.
Okay.
Player,
right.
Where you have a board that you can draft rooms from, but they could as well be tiles, dice, whatever, and you essentially have to you go through this process of like trying to precision play.
Okay. So you're trying to like get combinations of rooms and furniture.
Yeah,
Like, is that
while
how it
at
works?
the same time, maybe trying to deprive your opponent of their optimum choices.
And like Charlotte was telling me, like some of the things that you can put in your home. This is opulent, like beyond belief.
Yeah, well, this is the horrible thing, is that the game presents itself as all smiley and warm, and it's the sort of the game of the home you'll never have.
Yeah.
I mean, it's called Dream Home, not Slumlord, so it's gonna be
I know,
nice,
but at the same time, you know, there was a time where that kind of home was attainable,
Yeah.
whereas it's looking pretty bleak for a lot of folk our age. You just think,
Yay, the economy.
yeah, it's that thing you're saying about how sometimes the more zen a game is, the more infuriating it is.
Yes.
And it's like, you know, the little girls like standing outside the home with their hands like clasped, like, you know, endearingly by our heads, and it's just, you know,
And you're just furious that you can't get this jacuzzi for the bathroom.
yeah.
Yeah. Just like in the game and in real life.
Yeah, so yeah, it gets quite meta.
I don't know if I'd want a jacuzzi in my bathtub.
No, I think it's a bit swingery, isn't it?
Is it?
I was going to say, I wouldn't mind a hot tub, but like a jacuzzi,
No, it's.
ooh, I don't know.
I mean, I'd go for a jacuzzi. Like,
Would you?
swinger or not? Like, yeah, I'd be all over that action. The
Okay.
jacuzzi, not the swinging.
just to be absolutely
Just to be
clear.
absolutely clear.
Don't want it on record for my political career.
Yeah. Heard it here first, folks.
As far as Dream Home goes, I thought it was okay.
Does it suffer the same problem that we found with Azul in that you're not really interacting with the other people you're playing with?
Yes.
Right. And literally in every respect, because there's some of those games where you're kind of just playing your own game, but you're still chatting away, whereas Azul requires such precision that you're just all sat in silence.
What I will say is, because Dream Home, I don't think you can really get away from this, is because Dream Home has more character than a game like Azul.
Yeah.
You know, you can maybe have a little bit of banter because this sort of narrative naturally emerges from the home you've got developing. It's difficult to do that with a tiled wall.
Aye. Yeah, exactly. Well, I haven't played it yet. I do really want to give it a go, though.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's I'm not super enthusiastic about it, but I don't think it's
Jaipur,
particularly offensive.
the better of those two games.
The thing I would say about Dream Home is that I feel like I could play that with my mum,
Okay.
and she would probably enjoy it.
Okay.
Family friendly.
Don't know if she would like Azul.
Bit too abstract. Bit too heavy.
Yeah,
In a way.
Azul is that sort of game turned up to 11, I think.
Yeah.
So some people love Azul.
No, yeah, and I get the appeal. It just
Yeah.
for us it wasn't the
Azul is not the reason that we play those sorts of games.
exactly.
Get video games for that. There, I said it.
That's it. Pitchforks are out now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
They're
you
coming
said the
for me.
V word.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's what we've been enjoying in Board Game Crate. Of course, we've got plenty of others to have a
Yeah,
crack at. We still need to play Seven Wonders, which we opened in this month's
Yes,
box.
we did. Bohnanza as well.
Bohnanza, the most German-looking game I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
It looks awful. It looks like the old Euro. Well, it is an old Euro game.
It kind of reminds me of like 90s Beano
Yeah.
artwork.
okay.
It looks like that. It's one of those games like it probably should have had revised artwork by now,
Okay.
Yeah.
but it hasn't.
And of course, as we say in our videos, if you fancy getting yourself a Board Game Crate, we're doing our little offer, 5% off. Just plug in into the offer code. Lucky Frog is awesome. All one word, all lowercase. It's easy to remember.
Because it's true.
Yes!
Hey.
It works.
I'm not indulging it anymore.
What prize do I get?
You get 5% off your order with
excellent.
Board Game Crate. There we go.
Job done.
Yeah. See.
Don't say we're not good to you, Tom.
I know,
See,
right?
there we
Yeah.
are. So yeah, in terms of other gaming that we've been up to, you guys were playing a bit of Kill Team tonight.
We were.
Yeah, it's my second game of Kill Team.
It's my third?
Yeah.
Third or fourth.
So we're both still learning.
Very much so.
You were playing with a new module for it though, right?
Yeah,
yes.
is it Kill Team Arena?
Yeah, Kill Team Arena. So we plugged that in to standard Kill Team and had to go with the more competitive mirrored map, I suppose.
Yeah.
The way to put it.
It went horribly for me.
Was it that bad?
I don't
It felt that bad.
Yeah.
I think you.
What was the score?
I think I finished on...
I think you finished on about 9 or 10.
Yeah.
And I finished on about 14.
So it wasn't too bad, but
Yeah.
I was just raging that my Space Wolves kept whiffing their dice rolls, which they
You were,
did.
yeah,
You did,
you did have some pretty unfortunate dice rolling. I was sat on the sidelines actually because I'm just getting around to building my Secret Santa present from Ben, which is the Plague Marines, which are bloody awesome. I'm
They are.
loving these models.
Yeah.
So thank you once again.
Packed with detail as well.
I know,
Yeah.
I know. They are disgusting in a great way.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of disgusting, so I used the Galapox Infected
Yeah.
against you tonight. They're from the Rogue Trader expansion.
Mm-hmm.
Just horrible.
Also Nurgle themed as well.
Look horrible to play against.
horrible to play with.
I
Horrible
loved
to-
playing them actually. I had a lot of fun.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt for you, but I think it was a combination on your part of a tactical misjudgment
Yeah.
and poor dice rolls.
Well, that's what I was going to say is that I felt that first of all I played the map poorly.
Mm-hmm.
I think I picked the wrong objectives. What I should have done, but I didn't really know what to expect with your Kill Team. I should have gone more skirmish formation, just sort of peppering your guys from a distance and then closing in. And to that end, I probably could have picked my squad a little bit better. The demolition guy and the sniper were just wasted there because the map's all on one level, whereas the game that I'd played before had loads of different levels.
Yeah,
And
very vertical.
And I've got Reavers, they've got the grapnel launchers, so they're like some of the most mobile units in Kill Team.
Of course, they were doing nothing in this match.
They're not useless in this match because Reavers all get pistols and combat knives, so they're great at close range. And then they've got the Vox modifiers so it means that the enemy suffers penalties to leadership.
All right.
Because they're like terror troops, basically.
Do they sound like Batman? Is that what those things do?
Maybe.
I kind of imagine it like a roar, but sort of like modulated through like a sort of crackling radio type thing.
Okay.
Like in a death metal type.
And here, on next week's episode, we interview the new Space Wolf death metal band.
Yeah.
I bet that exists. I bet there is a death metal band.
Well, it used to be a Warhammer record label.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
There was.
I've heard some of their work. It's not good.
You shock me. Was it all heavy metal though, or was it like did they embrace all genres?
No,
were
they did not embrace all genres.
Was there no hip hop crew that rapped about Warhammer?
I would be on board for that, but no.
It was back in like the 80s, so it was a very specific demographic that was playing Warhammer. Reed hair metal dudes.
It was like kind of 80s, 90s sort of hair metal.
Wow.
Like, kind of.
Like Manowar.
Yeah, noise marine.
Alright, okay, nice.
It was no good.
Here's a fun fact. They're, one of the old Magic the Gathering pros did a few rap songs about Magic the Gathering.
Okay, sure.
It's as good as it sounds.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Was it tongue in cheek or?
I bloody hope so.
Yeah, I was going to say. But you never know.
You never know.
So you're going to join us in Kill Team?
I am, yeah. So I'm gonna be once I've got 2 more guys to build up, and then that'll be my. that'll be the lads done.
So we were kind of struggling to get some folks to play this with towards the end of the year, but I think we've rallied.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I definitely want to give more of it a
Lanky
go.
Santa's keen as well.
Yes,
so
he doesn't know which squad he's going to go for though.
Yeah, I would have thought he'd gone orcs, but he's maybe wanting a bit of a change because it's orcs he plays.
He used to play Dark Angels back in the day.
Orcs function quite differently in 40k, don't they?
To an extent, yeah. They're not the same as they were in sort of fantasy and Age of Sigmar.
Because in Age of Sigmar, they're like the elite.
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas it's more of a horde army in 40k.
It was more of a horde army. They've gone a bit more elite with it, but I'd still say it's not the same as
Yeah.
as
Well,
fantasy
you've got
Age of
the
Sigmar.
mega knobs and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Knobs.
Um,
Knobs and gets.
I'm in a similar boat myself, to be honest. I don't really know what faction I'm
commit
going to
to,
do
yeah.
because I've played.
You've got loads.
Yeah, so I've played now the Gene Stealer Cultists, which I really like. I've played the Imperial Guard, which I quite enjoyed. Played the Galapox Infected, which I quite enjoyed.
And they're all quite different as well.
Yeah, they've all got quite varied tactics. I've still got Marines and Death Watch and things, and I don't know.
Kid in a candy store.
I'm torn.
Too many choices.
I've bought too much crap.
Well, I'm pretty much sticking with my Space Wolves because I'm still quite invested in Age of Sigmar, and they've just we mentioned it tonight. They've just announced Warcry, which is going to be the Age of Sigmar equivalent of Kill Team.
Yeah, so we'll see what that looks
Excited
like.
for that. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we get something quite Mordheim-esque.
That would be really good. I loved Mordheim back in the day.
Just do a warband entirely of archers.
You couldn't do that in Mordheim. I think you had percentages of how many archers you could use.
Is there? Because
Yeah,
it
I'd have
was
frontline
so
fighters
broken
and-
ranged combat.
I could be wrong, but I have a vague memory of being limited on archery.
All right.
The rules will all be
Oh, they'll be completely
they'll
different.
be more akin to the Age of Sigmar rules.
Yeah.
So and shooting is a lot more reasonable than it was in Warhammer Fantasy.
Yeah.
The laser guided cannons and stuff like that.
Yep.
So that's what we've been up to. Now Tom's gonna complain about a Kickstarter.
Right.
That's pissed him off.
So, objectively, right? So I've never.
He's so keen.
I've been sitting on this for 24 hours,
Yeah.
so I've never backed Kickstarter before. So this was my first sort of foray into Kickstarter, and it's the Critical Role miniatures from Steamforge Games. Big fan of Critical Role. Been with it since a third into season 1. Really happy to see the models come in.
But they would have had these sculpts before.
You would
The
imagine
Chinese-
so.
You also kind of know
Well,
when
they would
China.
have, because we order some. I'm an electrician. We order some of our fittings and things from China.
Yeah.
And the distributors that we deal with have said that manufacturing hasn't quite ramped back up in
Yeah.
China yet. So even though it's over, they had to have got those sculpts before the Chinese New Year.
The thing is, as well, you know when Chinese New Year is going to be in a given year. You can plan you can plan around this.
It's not Steamforge's first rodeo. They've had stuff
exactly.
manufactured in China before. They know how it is.
Yeah.
And this is the other thing, using the 3D renders and the resin sculpts. They probably should have been a little bit more forthright in saying, final product's not going to be as detailed as this, because that is just how that works.
I think you can accept a level of they're not going to look to this, but we're way off base here. This isn't this is apples and oranges sort of thing. And it's a shame because I've bought a few of their single resin Critical Role minis that they've released, and they're beautiful. Like I high praise for them across the board. So to see this is the rendition of the main characters that they're going to be releasing, and you kind of got to flinch a little bit at it.
One of the things that we mentioned before we came in to record was if they're charging a premium for these figures, that they're going for high detail, part of me wonders why a UK-based company has opted to have them mass-produced in China when, as we mentioned, Nottingham in particular, there's a glut
Oh, there's loads
of companies.
I mean, obviously GW, but they don't outsource their facilities. But you'll have loads of like casters.
Because that seems to be the sort of hub, if you will, for wargaming.
Kind of like Nerd Mecca
in the UK. So, obviously it's grown out of Games Workshop being based there, and guys that have come through Games Workshop, they've set up their own companies and things. But there are a number of companies based around Nottingham, and there'll be in other parts of the UK that do injection molding for model companies, and they do it to a very high standard. So, I mean, do you think people would rather pay a little bit more?
I think so. Yeah, I think it wasn't cheap to buy into, but if I knew I was getting assured quality, certainly to the standard that I've been satisfied with the single minis, I would have been happy to pay a little bit more to keep it homespun. And keep it in the UK. And I understand why they've used Chinese manufacturers. Money is the bottom line.
It's a lot cheaper.
But when it's this level of disparity in quality, you've got to make a judgment call whether it's worth it. Yeah. I think what worries me as well is, and I don't want to throw shade on the Critical Role community, but they are very accepting and very forgiving, and I'm worried that goodwill's
being a bit abused.
Yeah. It's no one's really calling foul.
Have the actors who were in Critical Role, have they said anything?
I couldn't go on record about it. I haven't researched that thoroughly. I've certainly not seen anything. Obviously, there's not been an episode aired since that came out. Obviously, and they've not really said a lot on the show about the minis since they were announced. It's interesting because on the show they do use the minis. Yeah. They have some of the original sculpts, so you have seen these in action for months now, and it's a shame that what you're going to be getting through the door is potentially not going to mirror what you're seeing on the show, which is rough. And obviously these are make-believe characters that are only really shown in fan art and things, so that their appearance is abstract to a point. But when you've got the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man as a mini, you kind of got to make a.
Yeah. Well, we've really questioned the quality of some of Steamforge's products before, haven't we? Because the Dark Souls miniatures look phenomenal.
Yeah, it's the material.
They're made from this horrible bendy,
rubbery plastic.
Right. Okay.
Because people that listen to the show regularly will know that I quite enjoy painting. So when I saw the Dark Souls stuff, I mean, I'm not really invested in the video game side of Dark Souls, but the design of the world is beautiful. That weird gothic baroque nightmare mashup that they've
it's a really nice aesthetic.
Yeah, so I was quite looking forward to maybe painting up a couple of them, but when I saw this bendy plastic, I thought that paint's just going to flake off.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've seen those models. A friend of mine has them, and he used them in a game of D&D as some monsters. And I do remember looking at them and going, "These are beautiful."
Yeah.
And then I picked them up, and funnily enough, as I touched them, I was like, "Oh, that doesn't quite feel right." No. It's not the way you would expect a model of that size, because they're quite chunky models as well.
They're not exactly light, some of them either.
Well, I don't know the name of them, but there's the big fat guy
with the hammer,
the massive hammer.
Yeah, the kind of corpulent boss guy.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
His hammer is solid plastic, and this is how poor the plastic is. So much so that the haft of the hammer, where it reaches the head of the hammer, has bent under the weight
of the hammer itself. That's a shame.
Aye.
So it's I've seen a few projects that Steamforge have put up that look vaguely interesting, but the Dark Souls one kind of turned me off, and we've not really revisited Dark Souls. We played the first couple of scenarios and this is pretty good, but what I've heard from people that have delved a bit deeper is that it seems to suffer from the sort of cool mini or not syndrome.
Aye,
where
that's it.
It looks great, but like once you actually get through the door, there's There's not much.
Much
there.
I was maybe a little bit naive because I'd obviously never really got into Kickstarter. Only really knew much about it from you guys.
Yeah.
And I looked into some of their stuff, and I looked at like the Guild Ball minis, and I was like, they're nice minis.
Guild Ball's a very highly thought of game as well.
I've got a few Guild Ball minis that I've picked up solo just to use as Pathfinder models and things, and conversions, and they're not bad at all.
They're quite
nice.
medievally looking, even as a sports game.
Forgive me, because I've not got up close with a Guild Ball mini though. Is it resin that they're casting, or is it plastic?
Tell you, to be honest, I was under the impression it was plastic.
Right. Okay.
All right. Be mix.
Yeah.
It could be a mixed bag, but I was under the impression certainly they were plastic. The ones I've seen are definitely.
They are nice though, the Guild Ball stuff, but it's starting to look more and more like it's maybe a bit premature to say it. I think maybe Steamforge, they're a one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that someone steps in. I'm hoping that because the quality of Critical Role's merchandise is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Their books that they've released are stunning. Their T-shirts are great quality. I would hope that their merchandising team are taking an interest.
Yes.
Yes. I
sure they are.
I don't think they'll be happy.
Yeah.
Because like you say, it's Critical Role is obviously it's its own entity.
Mm-hmm.
Wizards of the Coast have a massive interest in the success of Critical Role. It's a platform for promoting their game.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some very big, very important people that will be watching this campaign. I don't think Steamforge can afford to mess this one up.
No.
I think it's a big draw for them. They even said when the Kickstarter finalised, this has been a lot bigger than we anticipated, which seems slightly naive, but fair enough. So I think they can't afford for this to go pear-shaped. I think it's going to have a bad detrimental effect on them. But I'm hopeful. I'm optimistic that they'll get their shit together.
I hope so. Because you don't want to see any company fail, but particularly one on the home team.
Exactly.
Because goodness knows that there's enough American, German dominance within the industry as it is.
Aye.
Yeah.
Well, watch this space, folks. Tom will be back, no doubt, once that he receives his miniatures.
I'll keep you updated.
Yeah. And I think with that, that's all we've got time for. So look, guys, thanks very much for listening to us at home. Until next time, take care.
Bye.
Bye.